That was Vice President Kamala Harris addressing the convention of Sigma Gamma Rho Society Incorporated in Houston, Texas. Still with me, Stuart Stevens, Senior Advisor for the Lincoln Project, Valencia Johnson, Democratic Strategist, and Kadia Goba, reporter for Semaphore, who interviewed Donald Trump today at the NABJ conference. So that to be honest, I thought she'd have a little bit more fun and lean into that conversation that you had today, Kadia, with Donald Trump. But I think what we saw was her sort of making a note of it, and not having that frame how she wants to run this campaign and how she wants to be as president. How did you read what she said there, just overall, and how she's framing herself as you have others out there, particularly, at other media outlets, trying to define her a certain way, DEI, candidate, for example?
Yeah, I know you raised a good point. I think she was very careful about how she characterized that the incident or the interview earlier today, but she brought it up, and
right.
I think
Bring
that.
it up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Donald Trump just gave her, a whole new ad campaign that she could possibly run on in the future. But she was, respectful about it, didn't dig too hard. But she said, her framing was, this is what you can expect, right? He hasn't changed. And like I said, he just kind of gave her that. So one of the first things I was thinking about when this was happening, I was like, oh, well, this is a great opportunity for his opponent to really highlight that. But also she talked on all the other hit on all the other points. I was surprised she didn't do the offense on immigration, but she brought up abortion, reminding people this guy said that he would, promise to put judges in, and this is what he did, and then pivoted on to what we now see as the rollback of Roe versus Wade.
Valencia, for Democrats, this is 180 degrees from where you were 4 weeks ago. There's no doubt about that. The energy is different. The mood of the country about the presidential campaign has changed. What have you seen that translates for you into the possibilities this fall for winning this election, holding the House, maybe gaining additional seats there, and maybe even keeping the Senate in viable play, given the way the Harris campaign has really come out of the blocks and has taken moments like this and has galvanized, not just those interests within the Democratic Party, those who are already Democrats support the party, et cetera, but a lot of folks that Stuart and I know, center-right independent voters, center-right Republicans, who are looking now and taking another look.
Listen, I think since Vice President Harris has become the presumptive nominee, we still have to go through convention and her accept the nomination. The path to our victory has opened up quite a bit more, right? I think the reality is in this race, we already knew what we were voting against, right? The past, I would say the 1700s form of ideology that the Republican Party is running on. We knew what we were voting against. We knew that they overturned these rights for women, for Black people, for anybody who was not white male benefiting from nepotism. But she is symbolizing now the hope for the future. We can see hope for the future. I want to be very clear that this engagement at Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, their conference, I am a member of the Divine Nine. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. This was actually already planned. She was actually going to speak to the sororities in the Divine Nine this summer because, as many people know, and maybe some viewers don't understand, these organizations are anchors in Black communities, and there are hundreds of thousands of members We're already actually excited about her. Now there's even more energy now that she's the presumptive nominee, and they are even more galvanized to go out and make sure they expand the electorate. Since she was announced, as her candidacy was announced last week, we see more young people who are engaged. The numbers are moving in our favor. You all have reported extensively on the different coalitions that have organically come up across Zoom, from Black women and Women with Black Women all the way to white dudes for Kamala Harris this week that raised $4 million. And that coalition is going to continue to expand, and it's going to include a lot of factions of the party, from the moderates, the never Trumpers, to also the progressives and young people and everyone in between.
Stuart, our friend Tim Miller put out a tweet while watching what was happening on the stage there at the NABJ interview. And he said, this interview was an example of why the people who demand that we deplatform Trump are wrong. People should see this. A grumpy, cruel, hard-of-hearing, race-baiting a-hole having to actually answer for his track record in an environment outside of his comfort zone. I happen to agree 1,000% with that view. I know, if I recall, I think you do too. The more the public sees and hears Donald Trump, in many cases, he makes the case against himself.
Yeah, I think what's different about this than flashing back to 2016, where you're just throwing up Trump rallies. This is different. He's on stage with 3 journalists who are challenging him, who are asking him tough questions. Trump, he doesn't like women. He is terrified of Black women. He sees much of what has happened to him as a result of Black women, and he refuses to take responsibility for anything. You know, if you were working for the Donald Trump campaign, when you were watching this, it was like watching a baby crawl across the interstate at night. You just couldn't look, and they couldn't get him off that stage fast enough. And, you know, this is a long campaign. You can't hide Donald Trump. And what's happened is, you know, I've seen this before in campaigns. When campaigns, a candidate thinks they're going to win, and then that gets pulled back from them. That can be a devastating moment for them. And very few candidates have the emotional maturity to deal with that well. They have to adjust and they have to come back. I don't think Donald Trump has the ability to adjust here. I think this is the Donald Trump, the angry Donald Trump, embittered, you owe me, why are you stopping me from what is my rightful, I already am president of the United States, people just don't realize it. And I think it's extraordinarily unattractive to most Americans.